topic of how to secure your dream job, we are going to lay emphasis on the key tips on how to excel in an interview. And fully aware that I'm addressing advocates, I'd want the context, or I'd want us to contextualize this conversation from the perspective of, either law firms or in-house lawyers, that is state corporations, private entities, SMEs generally, NGOs, and so on. Now, I'll start with some very interesting numbers or research. On 22nd of November 2023, the Daily Nation's newspaper heading was causes and skills that will land you a job fast. This was on 22nd of November 2023. I've picked out this report for something that is going to form a basis of this discussion. Now, this particular report was launched on Tuesday, the 21st of November 2023, and it was conducted by the Federation of Kenya Employers. So the Federation of Kenya Employers, being the body that houses all employers, would be an authoritative institution to speak about, the causes and skills that are very marketable. And of course, they gave a list of causes and these skills. And possibly like any of you, my eyes were keen to spot the law. So the report was as a result of collaboration between Nexford University, this is in America, and also ADMI, the African Digital Media Institute. And something quite interesting comes out from this report. Now, just allow me to break down very briefly the key findings of this report. So this report says, number one, employers in Kenya want workers in the following fields: IT, finance, business management, law, engineering, transportation, and logistics. So you can see why my eyes were keen to see whether law is still, a hot cake as we've always presumed it to be. So again, the confirmation was made that indeed law is one of the segments of a society that we cannot do away with. And you'll remember in our previous discussions, we've had conversations on whether AI, artificial intelligence, will replace lawyers and so on. My answer was categorical for those who attended that webinar, that AI cannot replace lawyers and is not going to replace lawyers anytime soon. It is only going to complement whatever lawyers are doing. So that was the key finding, that those were the key areas. Then the second finding was that lack of social skills is a major hindrance to job seekers. Lack of social skills is a major hindrance to securing a job. Then they went on to say that effective communication is the most lacking social skill, and 50% of the respondents, now 50% of the employers, believed that lack of effective communication was a major hindrance. Then of course there were other aspects of lack of critical thinking. There is the question of teamwork, and team management skills are not, fully nurtured. Then the report goes on to say that Kenyans are very good at acquiring degrees, but those degrees are not translating to performance. That someone would be employed somewhere and the first thing they want to do is to enhance their academics or their studies, only to realize that for most of the employers, some of these degrees or additional degrees are not translating to performance. I don't know whether that's true or not, but we'd want to listen in to, to various comments here. Then last but not least, we also had the question of employers. One of the key findings was also that employers are not paying for qualifications. That whichever place you are looking for a job, and I'm assuming now in the corporate world, in the legal corporate world, that employers are not really looking for qualifications alone. They want to pay for performance, they want to pay for output, they want to pay for delivery, and they also want to pay for one's contribution to the goals or objectives of that company. So with this, I think then we have a basis upon which now we can have this discussion. Now, to numbers again from the research, 2.49 million. This is, call it 2.5 million aged between 15 and 64 years are unemployed. 15 to 64 years of a workforce that should be, between people who should be in the workforce are unemployed. But out of this 2.5, the study goes on to say that half of them have given up looking for a job, and they've given up looking for a job because they've been demoralized. So I don't know where this is where we are as a country, but more particularly, I don't know where this is where we are as a profession. But my role today is quite simple. What is this that is contributing to an interviewee not getting placement when the market is in dire need of lawyers? What could this be? If you're seated somewhere and you're thinking of changing your job, you've done several applications unsuccessfully, is it high time you call yourself for a meeting, as we keep saying, ujiite mkutano, and ask yourself, are you doing things the right way? Could it be the reason why you are not moving, or scaling upwards?